Good evening. It is Halloween, so I thought let's do something fun. If you can see the back, that's kind of a teaser, a big teaser for what's coming up. The next interview will be Daniel or Danielle down with the Most High, so that is, I think, for next week or the week after that. We'll see when it comes together. We are listening, or in the background is Abortofacient with In the Crypt of Gore, thing that came out last year. Still think it's a Belgian involvement or a Belgian band, but not sure. Their second EP, I guess, on Nuclear War Now. What this is, as you can see by the title, is Fear and Screams of Horror. I just wanted to do a Halloween playlist, I guess, because nothing new came in, and I was looking for music to play around these days. We have this tradition, I guess, with when people come over, I just ask them for a word, and then we just look up a record that has that word in it here and there. So I asked my family to give me some Halloween terms, not vampire, werewolf, but more general or more broad, and it was fear, scream, and horror. So I looked up Discogs and typed that into the collection to see where we came out of. So the first part is fear, the second part will be screams, and the third part will be horror. Let's delve in. It's not that much. This is basically a walk through the collection, I guess, but it gives a nice overview of all the styles involved. It's mainly hard because it's brutal content. The first thing is slaked and white metal. We'll look for the, I guess, fear. It's probably a track on here that's called Fear. I'm not sure. Yes, the white metal track is Dem Dat Feared Wolf, and the slaked is Licets Dot. There you go. A split between an English and a Danish band. Slaked, we kind of did an interview with them in the sense that we talked to Scimitar not too long ago, so it's a band kind of out of the ashes of that band, but Slaked is not really done. So, and white metal is of course the Legion Blotan, Megaforce, the English, stalwart or strongholder of the English black metal tradition. So that's the first one, Slaked. Then we're staying in England for a while. This is Don't Hear It, Fear It by Admiral Sir Cloudlessly Shovel. This was around the time that I guess I really got into Electric Wizards and everything that Rise Above was putting out. I can't for sure, 2012. There we go. The artwork always spoke to me in some way. This is a 70s worship powerhouse, I guess, like I said, on Rise Above, so you kind of know what sound it is. They also look the way it sounds, so here are the three. You don't hear it, fear it. I mean, the haircut of the little guy, incredible. So yeah, some 70s worship. I have to admit, we're going to play them tonight when people come in, but I don't know. It's been a while since I heard stuff like this. Mark of the Beast, Devil's Island, I Dead, Red Admiral, Black Sunrise, Scratching and Sniffing. That's a cover, I think. I don't know. Glass Run and Killer King. So there you go. It's just a black vinyl version with that peeping bird that I love. Always very classy and classic looking vinyl editions. This is just a standard edition. It came with a patch, or I grabbed it, I'm not sure. This has really been too long. This is from the time I ordered from Rise Above, so that has been quite some time. I don't even know what the last thing is I grabbed from them, but yeah, great label, great store. I was kind of rude because I think his wife opens, or he keeps open the shop, I guess, and when we were there, I wasn't finding anything. There was some stuff, but not really, so I blurred out of, I guess, frustration or disappointment that, there's not really anything here. The entire store was chock full with great records, but pricey. I'll try to go back in February. I think they're in a new location, so let's see. Onwards with The Fear. This is King Dude with his album Fear. Great cover, the cutout sleeve. And this is also from some time ago, not that long, but it actually goes, or the records goes into the sleeve. So you have this eye kind of thing in there. It is a gatefold, but a closed gatefold then with a slide. And this is one of his, I don't know, maybe best records, maybe the one I listen to the most together with Sex. Yeah, it's a great one. A smoky clear on Van Records. Screaming females. The colors are cool. You can, you know, you can alternate what cover you want in there, and it just matches up an eye for you. So really nicely done. You know, Van Records, they always have some cool stuff. It came with 2 posters, and I think this is from the Dolk split that I just sold because I didn't listen to it. I sold everything Dolk except I guess except the first demo comp. This is the K-Beat side. And the man himself. There you go. Yeah, I always find it hard to describe King Dude because it's kind of singer-songwriter, it's kind of country here and there. On Sex, it's some heavy metal here and there. So it's like the male version of Chelsea Wolfe, maybe, something like that. If you're into all that stuff, you can definitely check it out. Yeah, the track Fear Is All You Know is a very good one. There's more on here, but that catches my eye just because we're into the fear stuff right now. But yeah, there you go. Then, Dead in the Dirt with Fear. I'm not sure where they're from. They're a crusty power violence hardcore band from the States. I got to know them since I was following Southern Lords. I'll try to get it out of the plastic. There you go. So yeah, Dead in the Dirt. I'm, like I said, not sure where they're from. I'm pretty sure they're American. Last track is Fear, but it's really hard to read because it's, you know, like gray on, or black on gray, gray on gray. Yeah, this is kind of a, I mean, I don't know if this is a poem or all tracks, but if they're all tracks, it's like 10 tracks on here, which is, it could be because, yes, probably. They're all very short bursts. That's why I say power violence, but, you know, it's a bit more heavier than the usual tones of power violence. The bonus for this round, I don't have bonuses for all, but since I got this out, the 10 track 7-inch, I also got this out. This is the Blind Hole from Dead in the Dirt, a record that I loved back then. I'm not sure. I'm very curious to hear it again. But yeah, here you go. The trio, and then some rudimentary penny kind of artwork in the back. There is nothing more insert-wise. Yes, there is. There's an obi. The black thing is an obi. Never came off because the plastic wrap is still on there. Lyric sheets. There you go. And then the record is a crystal clear. Very nice. Like I said, on Southern Lords, there was a time that label was on fire. I mean, they couldn't. Everything they released was gold. Yeah, my interest peaked with Sun, of course. There you go. Get in there. Dead in the Dirt. Check that out with, I don't know. Oh yeah, the 7-inch was Fear. We're staying in hardcore land for a while. This is Integrity with Those Who Fear Tomorrow. Yeah, classic records. Integrity. Cleveland hardcore. The Ute Crew Killers, if you believe the podcast. Yeah, this is a re-release, not an original. It is the spot gloss version of this one with the Princess Bacon artwork. Very cool. There we go. Some Bosch. And then track listing with the lyrics. Aaron Melnick, I think the Melnick brothers, yes. So lead guitar and 4-string are Melnick brothers. Christopher Hawthorne-Smith, additional guitars. Leon, that's the other one. Then Michael Pines, percussionist, and DeWitt Hellion, the messenger. Recorded in September '91 in Cleveland. Incredible how early this was. Cover painting is by Francis Bacon. It's painting 1946. So, yeah. Limited edition colored vinyl has the, there you go, Holy Terror skull. And then the vinyl itself is actually very nice. It is a red white mix, but it has some more Bosch artwork. There you go. That's horror. And then the bacon skull on the other side. Killer records. So yeah, these are all getting played tonight. The back is equally as nice. No, it all spot lost. I don't know if that showed up, but the head is also in there. The spot loss. Very nicely done. This is by Organized Crime Records. Yeah. I don't know if I have anything else. Maybe another Integrity, but I'm not sure. So yeah, this will get some spins tonight, or a spin. And then last but not least, for the fear part, is City Hunter with Deep Blood. There you go. Another killer record there. First full length after 2 tapes on Blackout Rage. I'll get this out. When else will I show this one? I am kind of hurrying up because there is a Utatech drop around this time that is going live with City Hunter live album, I think, Cadaver Dog live album maybe. So yeah, there you go. It is a bit coming loose. I mean, these are all handmade, and the glue is a bit sticky here and there, so we'll have to look into that. This is the man himself, one of the coolest masks or outfit or characters in the entire hardcore scene, I guess. There you go. Obi on there, very nicely. It's peeling back a little bit, I think. Weird, never saw that. Then there is a huge poster for this one. It's all the oils and stuff that are leaking. Yeah, there you go. The reflection in the blade. It's all Mark McCoy artwork. Very sick artist. But there's that, and then there is the records. There you go. This is the, I don't know how they call it. Not Die Hard maybe, but maybe Die Hard, I'm not sure. But yeah. 2 pictures of the main man. These, I don't know if this is a Denver band, I'm not sure. The hair, Jesus. There's a lot going on with this record. There you go. It reeks. There is this inserts, kind of slasher movie. Red background with lyric sheet, and then there is a postcard pack. Deep Blood. There you go. Very sick. They did a live performance for a movie. I don't know how many years ago, but yeah, very cool records. This needs some restoration, I think, so I'll put it there carefully. But yeah, City Hunter. If you're watching this, yeah, check Utatech if you're into that. Cadaver Dog. I think there's a Grinning Dead's Head demo, stuff like that. So enough to go around for everybody if you're into that kind of hardcore. But yeah, that was that Fear? Yes, that was Fear. Yes, part 2. We are playing the Slaked White Metal split. This is the screens. The first thing is a tape, and this is Utsalu with Drowning in Sanguine Screams. There you go. Utsalu is one of the bands that was on, or it still is, on Vasu Batlat. Here's the logo. If you have been around for a while, you know I was raving constantly about that label back in the day. This is release 8 on that label. They have, I think, 2 or 3 maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a later one. Utsalu is RCK, I guess, and guest guitars by J and guest noise by A. Hate. Cold Perversion, Rotten Seed in her Crimson Lotus, Jesus, of Stillbird and Sora and Therese. Yeah, I'm not sure what year is in this. I don't know, 2019, 2018, something like that. Yeah, very nice looking tapes. Yeah, USBM. They went into, I guess, more of a hardcore and noise at the end of the label, and then now it's Collier Dromre and stuff like that. I don't know if it's linked to this band, but it's Vasu Batlat material for sure. Then more screaming. Satan Satyrs with Die Screaming. Satan Satyrs is a U.S. troop of back then very young people who kind of play these 70s worship, but not in the same way that Admirals or Cloudlessly plays. These guys play more in the style of, like Electric Wizard, but maybe mixed with Stooges or MC5 or something like that. This is their, I think, first full length, maybe second full length, I'm not sure. Thumperstein, Instrument of Hellfire, Curse of the Corpse, Black Souls, Show Me Your Skulls, Skull, singular, One by One, Lucifer Lives, and Die Screaming on Trash King Productions. Saw these guys perform in Antwerp and a few times after, because they were actually folded into Electric Wizard at some point, I guess. A kind of a weird sleeve, so it folds open and then it has the side pockets going on. But yeah. Here we go. I think this was the first show in Antwerp at Bos, the then legendary venue. I guess still legendary, but yeah. It's actually greener than it appears on screen, but it has a problem with greens and blues. There we go. But yeah, interesting band if you're into that 70s fuzzed out, like I said, Stooges, MC5, that kind of shit. This is your thing. There you go. Killer cover. Then Uniform Choice, Screaming for Change popped up. This is a re-release, I guess, also on Summerlord. Yes, on Summerlord. This is the Black Vinyl. Ultra Deluxe reissue of one of the greatest American hardcore releases of all time. This essential piece of hardcore history has been remastered from the original tapes, blah blah blah. Audio Siege by Brad Boatwright. Yeah. A very special release that is not to be missed. I don't know where I picked this up. Really not sure. It is one of the better known or more known straight edge bands from that time. Here is the cover. Excellent classic cover. Really love that. A drawing from a live show they did. Then here are the people involved. Here we go. Screaming for Change. This is from 2017, but was recorded in 85, so I guess released around the same time, or a year later. Let's see, there is some stuff in here. There is a booklet and some extra stuff. There's the lyric sheets. There you go. There is Uniform Choice, Logo Man. I'm not sure if he has a name. DC Hardcore. And then there's the original photo that the cover was based on. It kind of folds open. They have great releases. Sunward, it folds open like this, so a gatefold, and then there is a booklet with some live shots, live images. You know the deal, black and white, a lot of skanking, a lot of whatever they do. There you go. And the record itself is, like I said, a black one. Kind of classic looking central labels also. Nicely done. There you go. I know Greg from Southernlord has a huge background in hardcore. I'm blanking on what bands he was in, but he was in some Seattle hardcore bands for sure. Like I said, it's all been too long to remember it all. There you go. Let's put this back in its cage. And then the last already for the Screaming is, of course, the classic Scream Bloody Gore 80s power metal, no, death metal, from Death. There you go. This is an original pressing on Combat, no, Under One Flag. There you go. This is bought in Tonga at one point at Ursel Records, the Hustle Staat, which is weird. Yeah, there you go. I think I got this or bought this from my buddy Jens some time ago. Is there a year on here? No. Not sure. John Hand, Chuck Schuldiner, and Chris Reifert on drums. Comes with the original inner, which is beautiful, Under One Flag, and then it has the classic. Everything's classic today. Under One Flag. label. But yeah, this is as classic as it gets. I need to, was thinking to get rid of the sticker, but it's actually cool that it's spawning from it. It's not that far from my home. There you go, very good pick, and the end of Screaming. Part 3, the horror. We're playing Udzalu. The horror part is the last part. This is just a quick video. I'm actually kind of rushing it because I don't want to miss the Utah Tank drop. It seems Halloween is becoming a release date for a lot of bands. I think there's a new Forbidden Temple on Gramschap that came out today. I think, or I know that Devil's Blood, the gates opened there for some extra merch and extra records. So a lot of people use this to push releases, I guess. Then into horror, not that much. 3 records, 2 tapes. One that surprised me was Volksraad, de kampioen van het tot slaaf gemaakte nazi's, some raw black metal. I had to look where the horror came in, but it's on Ancient Horror. I'm not sure where I got the tape from. Can't say I listened to it a whole bunch. It's one of those, I don't know, it's all in Dutch, but yeah, I don't know. 28 of 50 elitists is how it's numbered. Yeah, it's in the vein of Votana and Atesh and all those things, so I'm not sure where they're from. I'm not sure if they're even playing their I guess their country's music or whatever. It's just basically raw black metal incorporating stuff from back then. There you go, handwritten. I'm really blanking on where I got this one. Usually I kind of know, but Volksraad, need to check that again. Then a all-time classic, acid horror cult from Larvae, a power duo. I think they're a trio now. I'm not even sure if they still exist. This is on Unholy Domain Records from Italy. Acid horror cult Euphoria, Summoning the Gory Beast outro. Short tape, gurgling, rotten gore metal or death metal. See my eyes? Yeah. Here you go. Let the vortex of death and perdition catch you. A duo, like I said. Female vocals, vocals. Larvae is Lucia Sericata, vocals, guitar, and synth, and Disgusting Dennis. There you go, on bass and drums. I forgot how funny that was. But yeah, still love them. I have a bunch of their releases that I need to dig out again. I haven't been in a death metal mood, but if not tonight, when? That's Larvae. Then a more recent one is Witchfucker with Tapestry of Unspeakable Horrors. This is Palmkirk number 1? Yes, the Palmkirk number 1. Peter's label that did 2 great festivals in a row, I think 2 years ago and then last year. This is one of their bands. I think they're from, I'm pretty sure they're from Holland, but our side of Holland. I need to look into more of the Palmkirk's releases, but you know, so much releases, so little money. The Witchfucker himself on Chainsaw, it seems, and then the Mutilator. Yeah, I kind of bashed their logo, but I don't know, it kind of fits the aesthetic and the band logo. Comes with a printed inner with some more artwork, and then I think they were all on black. There you go. But the extra parts, or the nice part, was the booklet that came with it. There you go. There you go. I'm saying there you go a lot. Some lyrics, blood, and extra artwork. Very cool first release for Peter and the label. That is number 1 for horror. Where to put it? There to put it. The second to last is Tribulation with Horror, or The Horror. The Horror. Their first points. I'm not sure. This, I think if you look back, the first Grail video where I just went ham in someone's collection, this was part of that collection. Tribulation is a Swedish band that was then orbiting the planet that was Watain. They had 3 or 4 records that I really dug, maybe 3 records that I really dug. I think this one and then the greenish one that's behind, Nocturne de Manto, which was a weird take on death metal at the time. Yeah, it was kind of blackened death metal, but in a Van kind of way, I guess. I'm not sure. This is not on Van, this is on Blood Harvest. This is the original pressing of that records. A good one. It comes with all the goodies. It has a booklet as well, some extra artwork. That's, you see, it's kind of Titan Blood-esque in look. It doesn't sound like that, but it also had the poster with some thumbtack things going through it. I guess it hung on the guy's room. And then the record itself is the black vinyl version. This has been repressed. I'm not sure who did it, but yeah, side 1, side 2. Very neat looking records, for sure. Yep, I am actually kind of excited to put the needle back on this one. I was more keen on the second one. I think that was a bit more my style at the time. But yeah, what they became, I have to say, I followed them up until the one where the Dracula, or the one with the cape behind him. I followed them up until that record, but then he kind of lost me. Jonathan went a whole different direction, but maybe I need to check in. And then, last but not least, it's weird that it's this one, but it's Leviathan with the Tentacles of Horror, something like that. It is one of my best, Tentacles of Horror, one of my best, not pawn shop, but metal markets or vinyl markets, however you want to call it. It was just in the bins. I got this from the drummer of Millionaire, a kind of local heroes band from here, Dave, and he was just selling some stuff. I bought this for, I think, €6 or something. I asked him, you know the story. But yeah, there you go. On Profound Lore, Rest, one of the sickest records from his output for sure, but I mean USBM in general. Crucifixion, blown out head, very cool. I mean, look at the cover, menacing. That guy. Then inner sleeves are all there with white hat arts. Red version. Second record has an even more iconic photo. There we go. And this is also the red version. Love this thing. Great. So yeah, that's it. That is my horror list. We can make this a the video that keeps on going, if you will. I see a lot of people doing this. So if you have a video channel, make a video with your, I guess, horror records, or however you want to do it. Otherwise, just, put something in the comments. Let me know what you have been listening to tonight. I'll probably put this up in a while because it's not that long. So this will go out on Halloween. Have a great night. Don't do anything too stupid, but enjoy. Trash some pumpkins. Go apeshit. But that's it. Like I said, the interview with Danielle is in the books. It's a 3-hour long thing where he reveals a bunch of stuff. History of the label, history of himself, future plans for the label. There's something really cool coming. But yeah, you'll see when it comes on. That's it for now. Have a great night, ghouls and gals, and I'll see you ASAP. Bye.